This is spEarz to the streets. 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 This to the streets, to the streets, to the spEarz to the streets. This is spEarz to the streets. Get down to the beat, or get beat down in the street.
Rio versus the Irresistible Forces for the WWE Women's Tag Titles Elimination Chamber Weekend went from being a run-of-the-mill tag title defense to an absolute clinic. The psychology behind the match found the Irresistible Forces coming out on top via the tail of the tape, and ultimately both women's freak of nature genetics were played up to their advantage as even a woman as big as Rhea Ripley appeared diminutive in stature, as the announcers quipped. Sky's biggest spots early on found her flipping around like a gymnast, but this was a wrestling match, and she was reminded of this fact quickly through Legend's hard strikes. Jax spent a majority of her time dancing with Ripley as both women put forth receipt after receipt of some of their heaviest strikes that I've ever seen from the two, cracking through the arena. Both women ended up cracking other parts of themselves as they each crashed into the post in spots, the latter being launched by Legend and Jax speared the ring post by Chance. Jax got off at least 3 annihilators through the match, while neither Ripley or Sky were able to get any of their finishers off. While Sky focused on crossbodies and suicide dives, stayed light on her feet, she had only one good spot grounded, delivering back-to-back uppercuts to the Forces, but Ripley's focus on getting off power moves as her team's take cost her, and ultimately Rio, the tag titles. Sure, she had a powerbomb on Jax midway through the match and was able to pull Jax off Legend, interrupting the cover too, but such effort caused too much exertion for the champ, as by the end of the match she could barely even hit a dropkick, clutching her lower back repeatedly in so much pain she could barely stand. Sky was barely present in the match, early on getting wiped out by Legend, and the damage visibly carried through. Despite this being a fair matchup numbers-wise, Rio got overwhelmed by the sheer size of the Irresistible Forces. And as green as the announce table like to claim Lash Legend is, she showed out with a rare frog splash, using her know-how from spending years teaming with Shakara Jackson and the undercard back on NXT to her advantage wisely, tagging in while Ripley was distracted trying to riptide Jackson and delivered her own finisher, the Lash extension, to capture her hard-fought first piece of tag team gold. Truly, Legend was the focus of this night, wearing a rare two-piece for her ring gear, while Sky on the opposite side regressed to wearing the foxtail that is typically reserved for Joshi faces in losing efforts. Legend and Jax hit hard, using Rio early on as battering rams on the barricade, showcasing just how easy they can ragdoll the pair. Legend was repeatedly lifting Io off her feet, choke slamming the genius of the Sky, and Jax slapped Ripley on the announce table in friendly competition with her partner to show that she could give Rio some extra height as well too. Jax could have easily taken the cover after a final annihilator, but by allowing Legend to get off her finisher is a rub that shows that this partnership may be more than just one of corporate convenience, as Rio obviously was. Now, pro wrestling could go back to only having one notable Rio name in the ranks, and that's over on the singles division in AEW. Legend's mockery of Io's taunt early in the match was more than warranted, with the Irresistible Forces being as physically imposing as they are, and Jax's often unsafe history. WWE has given the title to a team that actually looks dangerous and can have a legitimate reign while looking like they actually are on the same frequency. For an industry as scripted as pro wrestling, this was the right move to allow the title to change to a team that actually appears organic than the marriages of convenience between the last couple of teams. One that was openly in contention against each other, Flair and Bliss, and the other with a friendship that looked so forced that it was nauseating. Now that the Force have captured the championships, I could picture them actually celebrating their win together, like a tag team should. And may that celebration last for as long as these two women reign.
This is spEarz to the streets. 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 This to the streets, to the streets, to the spEarz to the streets. This is spEarz to the streets. Get down to the beat, or get beat down in the street.